Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Contributor Tech Discussions. Today, we'll start with an update on GnoScan from the Onbloc team. Dongwon, the mic is yours.
Right. Let me share my screen. Do you guys see my screen? Right. I'll go through the each update that we've recently pushed for GnoScan. Yeah, the first update is the search functionality. So now you can search with your block number, checks hash, columns name, tokens name, or username. So if you put 2, you'll get the block number, and you'll also get proposal ID and volumes tokens. And if you click the proposal ID, it directs you to the GNO web page. And for transaction hashes, if you put checks hash, you'll get the results here. And the second one is with, sorry. Yep. The second one is we've added the go to GNO web button in realm details page. So this realm is the gov realm, and if you click it, it directs to the GNO web page of the realm. And the third update is we've modified the transaction message based on the transaction type. So, for example, this is the VM message call, and you'll see the function, package path, caller, and arguments here. And for the VM message from type, you will get the package name, caller, and files that you're running. And you can also see the called functions that you're trying to call in your file. And if you hover it, you'll get the problem path that your function is function belongs. And it's a little thing, but you can copy the row logs easily by just clicking the copy button, or you can Alt A to select only this area. And the next one is error handling. So for transactions that succeeded but returned an error, you'll get this warning icon. So you know that your desired action might not have executed when this happens. And for failed transactions, you'll now get the error message right next to the failed message. So this transaction has been failed because it's transferred function in testnet 6. Yeah. Jeff asked a question. How does it check for success but return error? I think Gino knows better than me, but he whenever there's like an error, he catches it and made it appear in the our API so that we can display it. Yep, and the last update is network customized network support. So yeah, if you put wrong URLs here, you'll get this error stroke. And if you put the right one, yeah, now it is connected to the custom network. And without the TX indexer, you can see your blocks. And for transactions, you need to actually have the text hash to search for your transactions because of the current limitations in the text indexer. Yeah, that's pretty much the update. Thank you.
Great work done, Gnoland. Does anybody have any questions? If not, next up it's Berty with the GnoKey mobile update.
Let me share my screen, Maya. Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it, Yuri.
Cool. So we have GnoKey mobile running on Android. So now you can import a wallet from the seed phrase. You can use GnoKey to generate the seed phrase for you. So GnoKey generate, copy the phrase, paste it here. Or in Android is the same behavior. And we are also validating the each word, right? Or the entire phrase. We also validate it. So the rest is the same. So vault name or requesting the same logic from no chain. So I mean the user ROM key, blah blah blah, 1 2 3. So 3 numbers, and here you can select the chain. I think we'll change this to become more close to the rest of the wallets, to not let the user select the chain here, but in the main screen, like Adina. And yeah, we had to for the seed phrase validation, we changed the GnoKey native. That is our framework on top of GnoNative. Just to remember, we are running GnoKey inside the mobile, the Go version of GnoKey. So the same code that we have on CLI, we have on the mobile. We exposing through the API and Go mobile using the same code. So we are validating the key and the phrase using GnoKey code. And the second thing was the social. Oh yeah. So we block. So now to calculate to calculate the gas, we don't need to sign the transaction anymore. So Jeff, do you want to step in and explain what to change on native, make it possible?
Yeah, so it was already the case that the simulation of the transaction already skips the verify step if it's simulating inside the virtual machine. And so we just set up the way we call the estimate gas function. We just create a signature block with the public key, but no signature bytes. Just leave it nil. And that turned out to be fine. So that's what we're doing. No need to actually fill in the signature bytes when doing estimate gas.
Cool. Thank you, Jeff. So the next steps are continue to improve, to add more features on GnoKey, and then catch up with Alexis to improve this UI UX. But yeah, we are focused on more features and then UI layout. That's it for us.
Thank you, Yuri.
Can I take the opportunity to just ask a question related to GnoKey Mobile, Nemanja, if you don't mind? So I don't know, guys, maybe especially Christoph, but whoever else might know. We are now, Yuri said, we are adding the last remaining big features that we need on the application before improving the UI and UX to make it look nice and be able to be proud to put it out there, you know. And amongst these last remaining features, we are trying to reinforce it on the security level. We added some security elements that we know about, but we're not specialists. And with Christoph, we already identified some things that we need to do. We have one question maybe referring to one of these elements. It is the deep link. And this is a communication method or the exchange method that we are using to send data on a mobile device between two applications on the same mobile device. So between a DApp and the GnoKey mobile, we use these deep links. And now we are wondering if you guys know of any vulnerabilities, security vulnerabilities around deep links, and or around known or best practices to secure the deep links, or things that we can do to improve security around deep links.
Yeah, I can
because
speak
we
to
looked
that.
online. Okay, thanks.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No,
yeah, so
it.
you can use deep links securely. You could accidentally create an issue there, but it should be fairly straightforward. So that might not be the most fascinating conversation for everyone on the call. I'd be happy to take that offline and chat with you offline.
Okay, we'll ping you offline. We'll pick you offline. Okay, thank you. It's just we're trying to be sure that we're not missing out on anything that is obvious and easy to do and implement. So yeah, thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Last item on the docket are student contributors who wrote a GNOME package that interprets and executes EVM bytecode.
Hello everyone. So basically, we will show you like what we have done at the student contributor program. So some people here are maybe familiar with the EVM, which is the Ethereum VM. If not, I will just make a quick recap. So basically, Ethereum is another blockchain that works with some bytecode that is called the EVM. So I will show you what it looks like and stuff like that. So let me share my screen real quick. Tech. So is everybody seeing everything right now? My screen? Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
So basically, this is what a Solidity looks like. And when you execute Solidity, you will basically get some bytecode. So let me show you real quick what it looks like in the playground of EVM.
So when you have a contract like that, basically, when you run it, you will have some instruction for it, right? Which is bytecode. With this tool, I can just show the bytecode like that, and it will like show me what the instruction is for, like pushing, storing, calling, jump, etc., etc. Or I can just use like the official tool for it, which is solc, and which is basically the tool that will compile my Solidity. So if I do like solc with like binary and EBY, which is the application binary interface, here we go. I will get some string which corresponds to the actual code for it. So the code here is pretty straightforward. It's just a adder, like it will just take 2 uints and will return the results after it got added. For now, it's pretty simple. It's pretty trivial. But let's just remind us that the code here is the actual code for that. Now, we created our contract. So what we have done is, let me just GnoDev. So if I launch GnoDev and I go to localhost /demo/EVM, here we go. We have made a little interface, like a little GUI for the GNO Ethereum. So what I will do is create an account, which basically will allow me to have a sort of pseudo account, which is linked to my real GNO account. And what it looks like is just that we have some transactions, and we have the accounts here that where we can see like the gas, which is the money that is used for Ethereum, but here it's a pseudo money. So let me just push a contract to test. So let's go to click here to push a new contract. And here in the code str, I will just copy paste the little contract I've just created here. So let me just Control-C. All right, I don't know if everybody is seeing well. And going here in the Adina, pastes. All right, so by pushing, I will create a contract account here, which have the address 0x12. So let's remind that this contract over here is just our adder. Now, furthermore, let's just give myself some gas. So I will click on give myself gas. So it's like GNO Faucet, it's just for testing. But as you can see, now my user have some gas, so I can execute the contract that I just made. Now, for now, the syntax for executing a contract is a little bit like self-made, but let's just click on click here to call a contract. I hate the reunification. Here we go. So here it looks like gibberish, but it's pretty much like understandable if we remove like the special characters. But it's basically just call, which is what I will do. So I will call a contract. Then I will put the address of the contract I want to call in X. So I will say 12. And then here I will just put the actual contract function call and the types of what it takes. So here the function I want to call is foo, right? And it takes 2 uints. So if I go here in Adina, I will just do call foo with 2 uints. But in EVM, the uints are uint 266. So I will just put 2 uint 266. And then I can paste the arguments. So here, there is 2 arguments, right? There is A and B. Now, what I will put is, well, A and B, which is like, for example, I don't know, like, and by the way, there is a funny bug in Adina, but I will show it later, which is like, for example, I don't know, like 42 and 7. All right. So as you can see now, the button is now approved, and the funny bug in Adina is the parentheses here, which are reversed, which is funny because if I go here, the parentheses are fine. Anyway, now let's just approve the transaction, and as you can see, it just removed myself some gas. and executed the contract here with the decimal results, which is like 42 plus 7, which is 49. And if I just click and just made another contract, which is the same, like call 12 foo, and you get the idea, it can execute like multiple contracts. So with like 1 and 1, for example. And here in the gas limit, I will just put less because I have less, but 10,000 will do the work. Here we go. And bam, 2. All right. If anybody have questions about that or stuff that we will implement, there is some stuff we will implement later. Yes, Jeff.
Hi. So this is GNO code, which is emulating the Ethereum virtual machine, right?
Yes.
And you have to finish everything in one transaction, and there's limits. You know, the EVM can time out. I mean, the GNO VM can time out. Do you have a feeling for whether most Ethereum transactions can complete within the amount of time allowed to do one transaction on the GNO VM?
Maybe
I think you
later,
can't
Manfred.
reply. You can't reply just because we will change the. We'll continue to fine-tune gas consumption with opcodes, and they cannot control it. Just under the hood, when we discussed with this team, we asked them to support gas as gas limit as a parameter, but under the hood, also just allow zero gas limit or infinite gas limit, so that we have two choices. One is to make EVM transaction able to time out before the GNO timeouts, or second option to just consider that there is a single timeout, which is the chain one, and EVM is just a VM to run another language. So I think that once we will define the gas consumption, final fine tunings, and potential gas wanted, gas the parameters we want to fine tune for the chain globally, we will be able to make some benchmarks.
Okay.
But right now, benchmark will just be false on the day of launch.
Yeah, right now, as Manfred said, the gas is just like symbolic. Like we can just don't have a gas. Like right now, it's just a limitation, but we can just remove it. And by default, it is removed. Like if an account has 0 gas, it has like infinite gas, but it was just for the test.
Well, that thing you just did is not changing state anywhere. So in theory, you could run it as a query without gas, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can run as a query, but if you want persistence, you will need to make a transaction.
Yeah, I just don't know how efficient your emulator is. It could be that, you know, like we ran across limits when we were playing with dsocial, and things that we thought were reasonable timed out. So I'm just curious. I'm sure you've thought about it. All right, thanks.
Thank you. Thanks for your question.
Oops.
Anybody wants to ask something else?
Yes. Hello, Mark speaking.
Yes.
What is missing today in the implementation of your Ethereum virtual machine?
So what is missing is like few OP codes. Like there is like we mostly unload every OP codes. There is some OP codes that are hard to implement because of the complementarity with GNO and EVM, because the two systems are sometimes really different. However, we like plan to implement them with like pseudo GNO implementation that is looking like this. And there is something else that is like the precompiled functions, which are basically built-ins, and we are currently working on them. So yeah, it's basically some, as you can see, like here, the ID of the account starts at 0x11. That's because the first 16s we reserve them for the built-ins, which are basically precompiled like SHA-266 or EC recovery and other functions that have some address special for that. So beside that and some OP codes we didn't implement, there's, well, pretty much everything is mostly implemented.
Okay, thanks. Congrats, by the way.
Thanks. Well, thank you.
Thank you for the great demo, Paul. We're moving over to the discussion section. However, we didn't have any topics beforehand. So does anybody want to nominate any topic to discuss now?
Hey, I just added last minute, but it was just to, if possible, I know everybody in the GnoKey team is really busy, but maybe to just have a kind of status on maybe expected change or current state on GnoKey. The question is especially because we have like a few PRs that are really deep and maybe long, and we maybe we should just wait a bit before trying to fix most of the things that are broken since a few days. And yeah, just to have your opinion about that. Should we wait a bit for last JS PRs to be managed, or should we focus on fixing things, etc.?
If you want to help us, please migrate right now. If you want to limit risk and you have other urgencies, feel free to wait a little bit more.
Okay.
That was an easy topic. Does anybody have any other questions? Norman?
It's a continuation on this topic, but what are the expected changes of syntax? And maybe do you have like some documents that explain it, like the last PR from Jay and the next one coming? It's hard to understand what are the intended changes, and so if someone has some documentation about that or a little explanation, it could be nice to know what to expect.
Actually, I was just checking, but yeah, this time we didn't updated the docs/resources/gnointerl.md file. So I can confirm that there is no documentation. Basically, just a high level, and I suggest you to look at the recent PR changes, especially the examples folder. We replace cross and crossing by passing cur realm. So if you come from Go, basically consider your potential existing experience with context. When you were used to have, for instance, in a gRPC server, you had CTX context as the first argument. And most of the time, you just pass your received context to the next function. So you stay in the same flow. You receive a CTX and you pass a CTX to the next call. And sometimes you want to create a new custom context. And here we have something similar. You receive a current realm, cur realm, as the first parameter of your entry points. So if you have a public function named add, taking two arguments, A and B integers, now it will have a third argument, cur realm, as the first one. So it will be cur realm A, B integer. So the two arguments you want to pass plus the current realm. And then you either forward the received cur realm to the next call if you don't want to switch your realm, or you set to cross if I'm not wrong, which is like a nil realm to say, please change the context. So if you receive a cur realm and you pass a cur realm, you stay in the same context. If you receive a cur realm and you pass an empty realm by calling cross, which is a new keyword, you say to the machine, oh, by the way, don't share my context, please create a new one. So you don't call cross, you don't decorate your coded function with cross. Instead, you pass you take care of the first argument you pass to the function. the previous syntax with where basically you decorate with cross and parentheses around the function you call does not exist anymore. So it's more like the context, the settings context in Go. But please look at the PR, the examples folder, it will be more clear. And definitely you need to update the doc resources gnointerval.md file to explain how it works.
Thanks.
I've also updated GnoPLS. There is an ongoing PR on GnoPLS that should support the next transpile, especially the built-in. If you want, you can take a look.
By the way, I forgot an important point. We have an automatic fix tool. It should kind of work most of the time, but not always. Before manually fixing everything, try to run GnoFix. GnoFix should patch your code base. If it does not work, please share the error. If it works, that's awesome. If it works, but you still need to address a few changes, that's fine.
Okay.
Any other topic? All right, I guess we can wrap this up earlier today. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you on the next call. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.